gentlemen, and welcome back to the Apprentice School Athletic Center on the campus of the Apprentice School here at Newport News Shipbuilding, right in the heart of Newport News, Virginia. We are so happy you could join us. Howard McCain here, bringing you today's play-by-play as it happens. Dave Davenport is our engineer-producer, so glad to have him back. But we want to say good afternoon, and again, exciting matchup upcoming now as the Carolina Christian Community College Centurions come a-calling to the Apprentice School men here this afternoon. Now, when we were last with you, we did see our Apprentice School men take on Berkeley College out of Manhattan, New York on last night. They fell by 11 to Berkeley by a score of 77 to 66. But that was yesterday. Today is today, and today Carolina Christian Community College is their opponent. Coach P.A. brings his team into this afternoon's game with an overall record of 3-10. They are currently winless in conference play in the New South Athletic Conference. Now, the last time these teams played each other was back in 2018. Builders took that game by a score of 98 to 92. So for Coach Evan Key, who is in his fourth season at the helm, he brings his squad into this afternoon's game with an overall record of 13-7. They are currently tops in the conference. They are undefeated, folks, 8-0 in conference play. So on last night, the Builders saw their 4-game losing streak be snapped. So can we start a new one? Absolutely. Awesome opportunity now for the Builders to get back to their winning ways. We did see them last night surrender quite a few points in the paint to that Berkeley squad on last night. So as the Centurions take the floor, the Builders will be taking the floor as well, and we will be giving you the starting lineups in just a moment. The officials for this afternoon's game are Tyler Jones, Gabe Hall, and Kyle Neve. Tyler Jones, Gabe Hall, and Kyle Neve will be your officials this afternoon. So we are ready for tip-off, and we are about to get underway here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Builders taking on the Centurions. Builders win the tip. Tony Epps with the basketball. Epps will be joined on the floor by Kyrie Smith, Jaden Eason, C.J. Highsmith, and Sean Ely round out the starting five for the Builders as Eason. Builders able to get into the paint, but just unable to get the ball up to the basket as it goes right through the knees of C.J. Highsmith. So, no score as the Centurions start their first possession of the first half with Michael Jordan, Robert Murdoch, Deshaun George, Kareek Goggins, and I believe I left out one as I was looking at the action. I'm sorry, Brandon Hampton are your starting five. So Brandon Hampton, Michael Jordan, Robert Murdoch, Deshaun Green, and Kareek Goggins round out your starting five for the visiting Centurions. So Coastal Carolina hails from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, as that shot is partially blocked by Eason. Builders outscored in the paint last night. Short jumper on the baseline, no good. As you can hear, Coach Evan Key to my left as he barks out instructions offensively for his team as Highsmith unable to convert. So Builders getting multiple opportunities to score the basketball on that last possession, unable to do anything with it. As the Builders go to a man-to-man defense. Epps in the forecourt. Shot clock at 20, plenty of time. Builders with Highsmith. Highsmith close to traveling, but he was actually fouled. So that foul will be on Brandon Hampton, the 5'10" junior. That'll be his first personal foul, and that'll be the team's first. Feed inside. Highsmith. High off the glass. Nothing doing. Fast break situation for the Centurions, but it's knocked away by Ely. Smith, feed. Eason off the glass for two, and that's our first basket of the afternoon. Jaden Eason gets the Builders started, 2-0. Builders over the Centurions. Back come the Centurions. There's a foul. The foul will be on C.J. Highsmith. That'll be C.J. Highsmith's first personal foul, the team's first. So that'll put Deshaun George at the free throw line. He does come into this afternoon's game as probably their most potent weapon on offense as he gets the Centurions on the board. 2-1 is the score as Angel Pacheco Ortiz will make his debut into the basketball game. 17:46 left in the first half. And the second free throw from George is good. 2-2 our score. Man-to-man defense by the visiting Centurions. Shot clock now with 15. Builders look to feed inside to Eason. Smith, shot clock under 10. Nice job with the step through and the bank shot off the glass for Kyrie Smith, and he gets his first two of the afternoon. 4-2 is the score now. 17-13 remaining in the first half. Near travel by the Centurions. Feed inside. Ball poked around after the miss. Builders come away with it and running. Here's Smith. Nice job by the Centurion defense to really disrupt what Smith wanted to do with the basketball. He wanted to catch it in rhythm and shoot, but the defender ran him off his spot, which is exactly what you wanted him to do, and it caused Smith shot to come up short. 15 seconds now on the on the shot clock, is Murdoch. Feed inside. Nice spin move by George, but possession comes up fruitless for the Centurions as the Builders make their first substitution of the basketball game. Avon Hawkins will make his way onto the court. Builders still hold a 4-2 lead, 16:23 remaining in the first half of action. Centurions continue in their man-to-man defense, turning up the defensive pressure just a little bit as Ortiz misses on the three, but Eason there to put the weak side rebound back up and off the glass. In for two, 6-2 is the score as the Builders go to a trap. And we're going to get a bump. So we're going to get a foul, and we're also going to get a timeout. That foul call is going to go on Jaden Eason. That'll be his first personal foul, and the team's second. So we're going to take a timeout, media timeout. 16:53, Builders lead 6-2. So Coach Evan Key gets an opportunity to talk to his guys, and so does Coach PA. He gets an opportunity to talk to his guys. So Centurions kind of coming in a little cold offensively. Have only put up 2 points on the scoreboard so far in the first 4 minutes of the basketball game. And one thing that's always curious to me is when you take a look at these teams, any team, I don't care what team or what sport, what level of basketball you're playing, if you look at the first 5 minutes of each half, the first 5 minutes of the first half and the second half, you kind of get an opportunity to see how these teams are going to play. What energy level are they coming in with? You know, is their shot going down? You kind of get an opportunity to see that within the first 5 minutes of the basketball game. So judging by how both these teams are shooting early on, this game is going to probably stay close for a while. So we'll see how that plays out. We're now out of the media timeout. Builders currently shooting 37.5% from the field. Centurions currently, folks, they haven't made a basket yet. They're 2 points on the board are via two made free throws by Green. I'm sorry, yes, by Green. And they turn the basketball over on the travel. So Antonio Baldwin and Eli Fabian make their way into the basketball game for the Centurions. 15:44 left in the first half. Builders lead 6-2. Hawkins. Builders. Nice job of moving the basketball. Shot hit the backboard only. And it's going to stay on this end of the court. Official says it was last touched by the Centurions unless they changed it. They did not. So it'll be Builder basketball. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Builders unable to handle the inbound, Eamon Hawkins, and that'll be a turnover. So that'll only be the Builders' second turnover of the first half. Centurions break the press. Ortiz causes the turnover. Hawkins, long three, no good. Ely, able to drain the baseline jumper, short baseline jumper, and that pushes the Builder lead up to 6, 8-2. As we get, I believe, a timeout called. So we get a timeout called. Nice job by the Builders. Eason with a trap near the sideline. It caused the Centurions to call a timeout. So that'll leave the Centurions with 3 timeouts. That's a 30-second timeout. So again, these Centurions hail out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The ladies actually were here a few nights ago to take on the Lady Builders. They actually went down as well. Carolina Christian Community College, founded back in 1945. Now, it's a school that actually specializes in biblical and theological studies. So what does that mean? A lot of our young men on the floor will eventually, at some point, probably end up working in a ministry or something like that. Maybe even become a pastor at some point. But right now, they're student athletes at Carolina Christian Community College as Brandon Hampton drains the three, and it gets the Centurions right back in it. 8-5 now is the Builder lead as Hemmon makes his way into the basketball game for the Builders. Chris Hemmon. Shot clock at 15. Carolina Christian bench trying to give a little bit of energy to the guys on the floor. They must have worked. As the layup is missed. Long three-point shot, no good. Hawkins with the feet in the corner to Hemmon. Hemmon attacking the basket and commits the player control foul. So Chris Hemmon will pick up his first. That'll be the team's third as Adrian Wall and Caleb Molesky will make their way into the basketball game. Builders still holding to a 3-point lead as they go to a full-court trap. Carolina Christian able to break the press. Here's Hampton. Action along the baseline as Hampton unable to hit. Hemmon. Feed deep in the corner to Wall. His 3-point basket rims out. So Coastal Carolina wants to kind of grind things out in the half court, not really running with the basketball or really playing with an up-tempo style as this three is no good. So the Builders still with a 3-point lead, 8-5, as Molesky Trying to draw the foul on Green, unable to do so as Green starts a fast break, and we're going to get a reach-in foul. That reach-in foul is going to be credited to Chris Hemmond, and already Chris Hemmond has picked up his second personal foul. That's the team's fourth. As Cameron Hampton Eli Gibbs also into the ball game for the visiting Centurions. Tony Epps will make his way back onto the floor for the Builders. Three-point basket. Good by the new player into the basketball game for the Centurions, Eli Gibbs. And folks, we are tied 8-8. 12:30 remaining in the first half. Here's Ely. Ely says none of that. We're not tied at all. So the Builders now up 11-8. 12:15 left in the first half. Baldwin looks. Shot clock at 10. Guarded by Epps. Baldwin has it taken away by Ortiz. Ortiz dribbles ahead. Harassed. Wall. Shot up and good. 13-8 now. Builders with a 5-point lead. Baldwin turns it over. Here's Epps. Didn't have the numbers. Going up against a taller player, so he just simply pulled it out. Wall's three, no good. Centurions turned it back over. Here's Wall. Kick to the corner to Epps. Epps. His bank three, no good, but Builders able to chase down the loose ball and able to lay it off the glass with Wall. So 15-8. 7-point lead. This is the Builders' largest lead of the afternoon. 7-8, 15-8. 11 minutes remaining in the first half. That three-point shot is good by Eli Gibbs. I'm sorry, that is Eli Fabian. I apologize. We have two Elis that are on this team, and we're going to get a foul call. That foul call is going to go on Eli Fabian. And for the Centurions, that is their first team timeout. The first team foul. As the official gives a warning to both benches that they both need to keep down the chatter. So right now, Coach Evan Key is trying to coach his guys up. They're currently up right now by 4 points. 15-11 is our score as we take a media timeout here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Right now, the Centurions, of course, hitting 100% from the three-point line. Folks, they are 2 for 2. They're 3 of 12 from the field, though, for only 25%. Builders are 7 of 19 shooting for 36%. They are yet to connect, I believe, from 3. Nope, they have 1. So right now they have 1. They're 1 for 7 from behind the line. Builders are yet to commit a free throw as the media timeout is winding down. Builders currently control the paint, scoring 10-0 over the Centurions. Points off turnovers, Builders 6-0. And also second chance points, Builders 6-0. 4-point lead by the Builders, 15-11, 10:46 left. Builders were inbound. Deep corner three, Wall hits it. So that is the second made three for the Builders in the first half, and that extends the Builder lead back up to 7, 18-11. 10.5 minutes left in the first half. Fabian to Hampton. I'm sorry, that's Baldwin with the basketball. Now to Green. He's harassed all the way to the basket by Ortiz. It was last touched by the Centurions. So 10-16 remaining. Builders looking to build on this 7-point lead. Again, their largest advantage in the basketball game thus far. Here's Wall. Step through. Kick to Hawkins for three. Rebound taken by the visiting Centurions. Here's Fabian. Kick to the corner. I believe he stepped out of bounds. So Cameron Hampton turns it over as C.J. Highsmith makes his way back into the ball game. That'll give Pacheco Ortiz an opportunity to get a blow on the bench. Still an 18-11 advantage for the Builders as shot clock now under 20. Builders working around the perimeter. Shot clock now under 10. Highsmith nearly traveled. Look, I take it back. He traveled with the basketball. A little bit of indecisiveness on what to do with the basketball that time by Highsmith creates the traveling turnover. So here come the Centurions. Baldwin. Long. Three-point shot hits the bottom of the basket for Eli Fabian. And we may want to rotate out and guard him because that's his second made three in the short amount of time he's been on the floor. And that's cut the Builder lead to 18-14. Feed inside Highsmith. Highsmith with a shorter player on him with the height advantage, able to get his own miss and able to put it back for two. 20-14, Builders with a 6-point lead as George gets it across the timeline. George able to get around Highsmith. No foul call. Here's Wall. So back come the Centurions. Centurions try to take it inside with Cameron Hampton, nothing doing. And here come the Builders on the fast break as we get another traveling call on the Builders. That's Adrian Wall. Kyrie Smith and Clifton Good into the basketball game for the Builders. Builders still with a 6-point lead. They've had opportunities to put more distance between themselves and the Centurions, but just miscues with handling the basketball, turning it over. So we have a quick stoppage in play as the official wants an adjustment on the shot clock. Shot clock has been adjusted now to 28 seconds. We're just under 8 minutes remaining. So we should have another timeout, media timeout upcoming. That three is partially blocked by Caleb Molesky. Molesky to Hawkins. Hawkins, it's fouled. So that foul will go on Eli Gibbs. That'll be his first personal foul. That'll be the team's third, and we're going to have a timeout. Media timeout being taken. 20-14, Builders over their Centurions. And for you historians, this is the second time that these teams have actually played each other. They haven't played each other since 2018, and that matchup back in 2018 was won by the Builders by a score of 98-92. Coach Pia, William Pia, is the head coach. Technically, he's in his first season as the head coach, but he actually took over mid-season this season. So the program going with a coaching change. Coach Pia now is the head coach. So he is now the leader of this Centurion basketball program. Again, the Centurions come in 3-10 and they currently are winless in the New South Athletic Conference. At the bottom, looking up at the Builders, who are 8-0 in the New South Athletic Conference. So Avon Hawkins will get an opportunity to score the basketball from the charity stripe. Builders with a 6-point lead. Make it 7. Builders now up by a touchdown. 7:46 left in the first half here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Thank you, folks, for joining us. Hope you're enjoying this basketball game so far. We are, as the Builders are in the lead now by 8. That is their largest lead of the afternoon, as Centurions with a little bit of trouble getting the basketball inbound, and they're able to get it over the timeline with Baldwin. Here's Gibbs. And we're doing a terrible job of guarding Gibbs outside the three-point line because that is his third made three-pointer of the first half as we get a foul call. Cameron Hampton picks up his first personal foul. That'll be the team's 4th as Lee Brown makes his way into the ball game. 22-17, Builders lead. Here's Epps. Looking for the screen from Good. Good on the switch. Feed inside, just a little bit too low for Kyrie Smith. You like that feed to be up around his numbers, but it actually was down around his knees. Kyrie Smith just unable to handle it, and plus the pass was hot. So 7:05 left in the first half. Builders now leading by 5, 22-17. Good working hard on defense. And we're going to get a foul. That foul call is going to go on Clifton Good. For Clifton Good, that is his 5th personal foul, so that will put Antonio Baldwin at the free throw line, the 6'2" sophomore for Carolina Christian. Baldwin able to get to the basket because the defender that was guarding Gibbs outside the three-point line could not collapse down on defense to close the lane that Baldwin used to get to the basket. So good recognition by Ball as he makes the first, and he makes the second. Builder lead trimmed back down to 3, 22-19. Builders unable to put a substantial amount of distance between them and the Centurions as that ball is poked out of bounds by the Centurions, so it'll stay on this end, of course. Adrian Wall and Jaden Eason make their way back. Here's Good. Rebound control by the Centurions. They're off and running. Here's Goggins. Off the back of the iron. So the Builders still maintaining a 3-point lead. 6:15 remaining in the first half. Pass inside to Eason is picked off. Back come the Centurions with Fabian. I think that's the first time I've seen it. Clifton Good actually blocked that shot with his armpit. Good. Underneath. Builders fighting. No foul call underneath, and we do not get a foul call. That's actually a jump ball. So the possession arrow is in favor of the visiting Centurions. I'm pretty sure you all were doing the same thing I was doing. You were kind of holding your breath, waiting for a whistle to blow for a foul that never came. So just like that, it's Centurion basketball down by 3, 22-19 to the Builders. step-through layup is good for Lee Brown, and the Centurions now down by 1. So as we said earlier, after the first media timeout, that based on the pace of play and the way these teams are getting up and down the court and making and missing shots, that this game is going to be tight. Well, folks, that's what it is right now. Builders looking to add to their 1-point lead as they feed it inside to Eason. So it was last touched by the Centurion, so it'll stay on this end of the court. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Hopefully the Builders know that, and they do as they attack the basket. Shot up, nearly goes down for Ely. So he's fouled, and he'll step to the line. So Deshaun George will pick up his first personal foul. That'll be the team's first. 5:03 left in the first half. So Sean Ely will step to the line to shoot 2. And he hits. Pushes the Builder lead up to 2. 23-21. And the left-hander misses the second. So the score will remain 23-22. Centurions with an opportunity to tie or even take the lead on this possession. Centurions able to get inside and get the shot up and down is Kareem Goggins. So the Centurions have tied the Builders 23-23, 4:42 remaining in the first half. As Adrian Wall puts a little bit of distance between themselves and the Centurions with a made jumper for 3. So 4:28 remaining in the first half, full timeout. That's a media timeout that's going to be taken. So we'll stay here, 26-23. Builders with the lead. Game has been nip and tuck throughout. It looked like at a couple of junctures, it looked like the Builders were going to put some space between themselves and the Centurions when they actually got their lead up to 7, got the lead up as high as 8. But you got to give it to Coach William Pia and his Centurion basketball team. They absolutely refused to go away in the first half and battled and battled and battled, actually scored and tied the game at 23 apiece. But that Adrian Wall 3 just after or just prior to the media timeout has given the Builders their 26-23 lead. With that jumper for 3, Adrian Wall is now the leading scorer for the Builders. Actually, he's the leading scorer in the basketball game, period. He has 10 so far. Builders with 8 turnovers. Centurions with 7. Their leading scorer is Eli Fabian. Eli Fabian has scored all of his points from behind the three-point arc. Centurions currently 5 for 9 from 3. They shoot about 55% from the three-point arc. Builders 3 of 12 from 3 for 25%. Centurions able to get inside, but unable to score. The basketball is Goggins. Here's Wall. That three-point attempt no good for Wall. Come back quickly are the Centurions. They're unable to convert as George. Unable to convert. As the Builders pull it out and get into the half-court set. Here's Ely. Feed inside to Eason. Eason harassed. Shot. No good. So that'll put Eason at the line. He's fouled by Brandon Hampton. Oh, he said number 1. I'm sorry. That I actually credited that one to number 0. So Michael Jordan is going to pick up his first personal foul. That'll be the team's 6th as Jaden Eason hits the first of 2. 27-23, 3:36 remaining in the first half as Easton looks to sink the second of two. As we have a quick stoppage, and I think we're going to get a tech. So Sean Ely is going to be assessed a tech, and Tayshawn George is going to be issued a tech as well. So for Sean Ely, that'll be his first, and for Tayshawn George, that'll be his second. So they both will go to their separate benches as Easton hits the second. So the Builders now with a 4-point lead, 28-24. 28-24, 3:34 left. The officials have already warned both benches about the chatter. 3-point miss comes off. Rebound, loose ball fought for one by the Centurions. As the Centurions turned it over with Goggins. Eason, unable to convert. So back come the Centurions now. As we're going to get a foul call. That foul call is going to go on Adrian Wall, and for Adrian Wall, that is his first, the team's seventh. So that'll put the Centurions at the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1 Lee Brown. The 6'1" freshman for the Centurions has an opportunity to trim this Builder lead from 4 to 2 as he makes the first. So 28-25 is the score. As both go down. Okay, so the Builder lead is now 3, 28-25. Adrian Wall. I believe Adrian Wall committed the, there was a illegal screen on Jaden Eason. We have a brief stoppage in play. That'll be the Builders' 8th team foul, and that'll be the second on Easton. So there's a stoppage in play as the officials sort through the score. Right now it's at 28-25. What the contention is that when the Centurions went to the line, the score was 28-24. There were 2 made free throws, and they're contesting that the score should be 28-26. So they do check the official scorebook, and the score on the scoreboard is correct, 28-25. Builders with a 3-point lead. Trying our best to keep you informed on everything that's going on. We don't want our fans confused. Here's Goggins. Loses the basketball, tie up on the floor. So the official said that Goggins kicked the ball while it was loose. So it's going to go over to the Builders. Robert Murdoch into the basketball game for the Centurions. 2:33 remaining in the first half. 28-25 is our score. Builders by 3. Epps. Here's Molesky. Hawkins with the shot clock at 10. Hawkins able to split the defense and lay it up for 2. 30-25, Builders with a 5-point lead over the Centurions. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. as Hampton is bumped. Hampton is bumped by Angel Pacheco Ortiz. That'll be his first personal foul, the team's 9th. So that'll put Brandon Hampton at the line to shoot 2 with 1:57 left in the first half. As he back irons the first, he's the 5'10" junior for Carolina Christian. He has 3 points in the ball game, make it 4. Builders lead now 4, 30-26. Hawkins falls down, nearly turns it over, but he's able to get it to Wall, so no traveling call. Shot clock now at 10. Hawkins, long three-point bucket is good. So 33-26 Builders now have a 6-point advantage as we get an official's call. Thought it might have been a charge, but they're going to call a block. That foul is going to be credited to Avon Hawkins, who just drained that long three. And that'll be the 10th for the Builders. So for the final 123 of the first half, the Centurions will be shooting the double bonus. First one misses. So the officials halt play. Builders got the rebound off the miss and started the fast break, while the shooter stayed at the free throw line and screamed out, "No, we're shooting 2." He was right. So we'll reset the clock. Antonio Baldwin will get an opportunity to shoot his second free throw. Again, Builders are in the double bonus. 10 team fouls, 1:22 remaining in the first half. Builders up 33-26, make it 33-27. Centurions with the full court press. Stay conservative on the pressure from the press is Molesky. With the left hand, folks, he scores it, and he is fouled. So count the basket, and the foul will be called on Eli Gibbs. That'll be his second personal foul in the team's 8th, and that'll give Caleb Molesky an opportunity to push the Builder lead up to its largest of the afternoon, 9, with 1:05 left in the first half, and he does just that. 36-27 now. Builders with the lead. We're now under 1 minute remaining in the first half, as the Centurions turn it over. So the Builders cannot hold, of course, for the final shot. But if they get something up quickly, they may be able to get a 2-for-1. Wall misses. Here's Brown. Brown. Able to give it off. Watch out for Gibbs. That's his 4th three-point made basket of the half. So that cuts the Builder lead now to 6, as we're now down to 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Builders will hold for the final shot. Game clock now with 10. Epps, a long way away from the basket, makes his move. Epps, skip, scoop, layup, no good. Game clock at 3-2. Whistle blows, stops the clock at 1.2 seconds left in the first half. Builders with a 2-possession lead, 36-33. Centurions look to inbound. It's going to have to pretty much be a catch and shoot. Good if it goes. Woo, that was close to hit the back of the iron for Antonio Baldwin, and that is how the first half of action will end here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Wow. Good game, folks, so far between the Builders and the Centurions of not Coastal, but Carolina Christian out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So we will take a break. The officials will take a break. Everybody's going to take a break, folks. It's half here. It's the half here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Your score, Builders 36, Centurions 30. We'll step away. We'll be back with first half stats and second half action here momentarily. We'll be back, folks, after this. This is Builder Basketball. about a minute and a half before we get started with second half action here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center as the Apprentice School takes on Carolina Christian Community College out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And some of your first half stats as far as leading scorers, it was Eli Fabian who led all scorers in the game, and also, of course, for the visiting Centurions, he had 12 points. All of his points came off of made three-point shots. So he has 12. Leading rebounder for the visitor at 4. We had 2 players. That was Eli Fabian and also Deshaun George. For the Builders, leading scorer, of course, is Adrian Wall on the strength of his three-point shooting. He had 10 points in the first half. The leading rebounder was Sean Ely. He ripped down 7 boards. For each team, as far as the boards go, Builders with 23 rebounds, the visiting Centurions with 19. Both teams about even as far as the turnovers go. Centurions committed 10 turnovers, while the Builders committed 9 of their own. The thing that kept the Centurions in the basketball game in the first half was their three-point shooting, folks. They were 6 of 11 for 54%, while the Builders were 4 of 14 for 28%. Now, the Builders still own the advantage in the paint in the first half, 16-4. Builders' largest lead of the first half was 9. The Centurions didn't take hold of the lead at any point in the first half. They did come back and tie the score. Let's see, 3 times. So we had 3 ties in the basketball game, but the Builders were always able to hit a couple of shots to give themselves back the lead. So we have another 20 minutes of action left here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. It's the Centurions and the Builders. Let's see who wins it. Again, Howard McCain with the play-by-play. Dave Davenport is our engineer-producer as Sean Ely, I keep calling him Eli. Sean Ely with the first bucket of the second half for the Builders. 38-30 now. Builders over the Centurions. That corner 3, no good, but the Centurions able to secure the loose ball. Brandon Hampton able to convert the layup, 38-32, as Hawkins misses. Loose ball controlled by the Centurions. Here's Hampton. That loose ball is controlled by Goggins, who's able to convert with the right hand. So 38. 34 is the score as we get a foul call. That foul call will be called on Deshaun George. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's first of the half. Here's Eason. Builders trying to feed it inside, and they do. Shot clock at 10. As Sean Ely's 3 misses, but they get a new shot clock. Eason. He hits. Jaden Eason pours in his 8th point of the afternoon, and the Builder lead is back up to 6, 40-34, as the left-handed runner goes down for Kareem Goggins. So for Goggins, that is Goggins. I'm sorry, I'm looking up and down my score sheet here. Goggins, that is his 4th point. Seems like he had more than that, but corner 3 by the Builders, no good. Rebound clear by Goggins. So here comes Murdoch. Feed to George. Shot up off the glass, and he's fouled. Caleb Molesky with the foul. That is his first personal foul, the team's first of the second half. So Adrian Wall and Angel Pacheco or Pacheco Ortiz. He'll check into the basketball game as Deshaun George misses. So the Builder lead now at 2, 40-38. Epps dangerously close to handling the basketball near that timeline. Here's Ely. Thought about the shot, passed it off to Eason, but Ely is there to put it back in. So 42-38. Again, right when the Centurions start to make a run to get themselves right back in it, Builders do just enough to keep them at bay. 4-point lead now, 17:04 left in the second half as that three-point basket is good. So Michael Jordan drains his first three of the afternoon, and the Centurions are now back within one, 42-41. So we're keeping an eye on things to see how they go this first 5 minutes of the second half as Adrian Wall able to sink the deep corner three. And that pushes the Builder lead back up to 4. So once again, right when the Centurions feel like they're about to get back in it, Builders do just enough to keep them at bay. That's a long two. That's no good. Here's Epps. Deep corner pass. Here's Ortiz to Wall for 2. So 47-41. Deficit back up to 6. Here's Goggins. Stripped. Builders come up with the loose ball, I think. Officials confer. Say it was last touched by the Centurions as we get a timeout. That's immediate timeout. This is the under 16-minute timeout. So we'll stay right here. 47-41. Builders over their Centurions. And boy, you have to love the energy that both teams have come out of the halftime locker room with so far. When things stopped at the half, it was a 36-30 game. We're now 47-41. So teams are scoring the ball pretty well so far in the first 4 minutes and 13 seconds of the second half. Now, again, based on the way these teams are playing each other and the way they're making shots, you know, like I said, there's a good chance this thing is going to go down to the wire. So will Coach Evan Key and his squad have enough to pull out their 14th victory of the season? Right now, their overall record is at 13-6. Against William Pia and his 3-10 squad from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Again, these teams, they're not strangers to each other, but again, they have not played one another since 2018. Builders were able to come away with a 98-92 victory in that contest. So the media timeout has wind down to a close. Both teams making their way back onto the court. And we'll get started with the next 15:47 of this basketball contest here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. However you're joining us, we are glad that you are with us. Builders looking for something with 10 on the shot clock is Ely. Able to knife in between the defense. Shot partially blocked by George. Here's Goggins. Goggins. Unable to hit, but the Centurions do get out of there with the offensive rebound. Ely ahead to Wall. Wall with the layup. 49-41. Builders have extended their lead now to 8. The Builders have led by as much as 9 in this basketball game. Goggins' pass nearly picked off. Shot by Hampton, tipped around. Last touch by the Centurions. Woo! My heart kind of jumped into my throat just a little bit because there's a baby right near the sideline where all that frenetic action happened. I was hoping to goodness that nobody went after a loose ball and fell on the baby. So we have a stoppage. Builders had 6 players on the court while the ball was in play. So Hemon was on the floor, which is a 6th player on the floor. So I believe we're going to have a technical call. Someone for the Builders was supposed to go off the court during the stoppage, and they didn't. Hemon came in for the substitution. So that left 6 players on the floor when the ball was in play for the Builders. So that is going to result in a technical free throw that is up and good by Eli Fabian. So they'll get one more.
In that situation, why did he give him the ball so soon? He was all like, that's all y'all to count that.
So 14-31, as you can hear Coach Evan Key
Y'all got to come together on that.
tell the officials that they have to be more aware of the court situation. So the Builders now have the legal 5 players on the floor instead of 6. That would have gave the Builders a heck of an advantage on defense.
Last big, but it's 2 shots.
So it's purely a technical foul, not a personal foul on anyone. Want to make sure they get it right in the books. So 49-43. Builders with a 6-point lead, hoping to add to it. Here's Ortiz, and he is fouled. That foul call will go on Deshaun George. And for Deshaun George, that is his 4th personal foul in the team's 2nd. So he's officially in foul trouble. So Angel, Pacheco, Ortiz. Now, I believe there was a stoppage by the official, so that free throw will not count. The official goes all the way to the other end of the court to talk to a couple of the officers. So not completely sure. I think the officials are going to ask for somebody in the crowd to be escorted out of the game, I think. So the officials ask the players to come back to the free throw line where Ortiz is going to be shooting too. 49-43. Is the score as one of the officers goes over to speak to one of the fans for the Builders. As Ortiz misses the first. 49-43 is what the score will remain as the officer completes his conversation with one of the fans. So apparently one of the fans of the Builders was being disruptive or saying some choice words that the official didn't appreciate. So we're back into play, of course. 50-43 now. Builders with a 7-point advantage. Rebound cleared by Ely. Here's Hemon. Kick to Ortiz. Back inside to Ortiz. Here's Ely. His runner, good. So the Builders have now built and matched their largest lead of the afternoon, 52-43 over the Centurions. Shot clock now at 10. As the Centurions work off a screen, Easton with the block. Tie up. Loose ball. And there's going to be a loose ball foul called on the Centurions. That foul is going to be given to Robert Murdoch. That is his first personal foul and the team's third. There is a lot of jawing going on the court right now as Ortiz unable to hit. Outlet to Baldwin. He tries a bit of a circus pass that isn't picked up by anyone but Fabian there with the loose ball, and Ortiz will be whistled for the foul. So Ortiz will pick up his second, and that'll be the team's second of the second half. So the officials are making every attempt possible to get this game under control, as there is a lot of talking back and forth between players on the floor and fans in the stand. So it's 13:03 remaining in the basketball game, and we really need cooler heads to prevail in this basketball game as Eli Fabian misses the first. I think if it continues between the players on the court and the fans, then at some point someone will have to be removed from the arena. The goal is to maintain good sportsmanship here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center throughout as we get a timeout. That timeout is going to be called by Coach William Pia at the 13:03 mark of the second half. And folks, I actually think it's a good timeout because right now there are a couple of players for Carolina Christian who are actually hot right now. We have two of them that are actually over talking to the officials, so I think this is a good opportunity for just everyone to just calm down and cool down so that nothing adverse happens that will not allow this basketball game to continue to be played. So I'm pretty sure the officials are going to be keeping a keen eye on things, and if they see anything that should not be going on, I do see them not being afraid to put players out of the game if that is the case. So we're at the 13:03 mark. So again, I think that's a very good timeout that was called right there by the coach for Carolina. So the officials are going to bring both coaches together, I believe. They're going to bring both coaches together. Okay, we were trying to pick that up with our mic as best we can. The exchange between the officials and both head coaches, Evan Key and also Coach William Pia. And they were basically saying that, look, you know, we got to stop with all this talking on the court. Let's play basketball so that nothing happens between the players or the players and the fans. So let's keep it down. Let's keep it under control as we get a foul call. That foul call is on Antonio Baldwin. That is going to be his first personal foul and the team's fourth, and the officials are going to be keeping a very close eye on what goes on the court for the next 12:55. So again, in order to keep order as the left-handed shot by Easton goes down, and the Builders now have their largest lead of the afternoon, 10, 54-44 over the Centurions of Carolina Christian. Here's Fabian. His shot up off the glass. It is good, and he's fouled. Excuse me, folks, that foul call is going to be on Jaden Eason. That is his third personal foul, and the team's third is Avon Hawkins will make his way into the game along with Caleb Molesky. And that'll put Eli Fabian at the line to try to complete the three-point play. 12:32 left. Builders with an 8-point lead. Shot by Fabian, no good. Here's Hemmett. Hemmett, working off of the screen, was hit in the face. No call as Hemmett commits the frustration foul. So Hemmett will be whistled for his third personal foul, the team's fourth. So from my vantage point, folks, I don't think things have really calmed down just yet on the court. You can even see by some of the screens being set and some of the defense being played that there's still a little bit of tension on the floor right now between a couple of players, particularly between Hemmett and Antonio Baldwin. As Adrian Wall able to get all the way to the basket for two. 8-point lead now for the Builders, 56-48. Fabian looks for a screen. Screen doesn't come. Hampton, his long three off the back of the iron. Wall with the basketball. Ortiz has it stripped. Back come the Centurions. That three-point shot, good for Robert Murdoch. And that trims the Builder lead now to 5, 56-51, 11:04 left. As the basketball is poked away from him, and it'll stay on this end. We're going to have a timeout. Media timeout. Builders with a 56-51 lead as shot clock now at 22. Builders with 3 timeouts. Centurions with 2. Both teams with 4 personal fouls, so neither team is in danger right now of being in the bonus or the double bonus. But I do appreciate the fact that the officials have been really working diligently to keep things under control in this basketball game. Things have gotten intense between both teams. But hopefully when we come out of this timeout, again, things will continue to cool down and we'll get back to playing, dare I say, civilized basketball. So for the Builders, again, up by 5 right now. Builders have done a great job of scoring the basketball inside the paint. They are leading the paint production right now, scoring-wise, 26-12 over the Centurions. Builders now shooting 40% from the field, while the Centurions are shooting about 36%. I'm sorry, the Builders have actually are actually leading the paint points 30-14 as I get the updated stats. So for the final 11 minutes, let's see if the Builders continue to pound it inside. The only player that's currently in any kind of foul trouble for the Centurions is Deshaun George. He has 4, and he's not on the court at the moment. Hawkins, his 3 short, rebound cleared by Murdoch. Here's Baldwin. Hampton. His shot goes down. And the Builder lead now is trimmed to 3, 56-53. Epps off of the screen. Picked up by Hampton. Epps has been quiet on the scoreboard pretty much this afternoon as Hawkins able to step through the defense and lay it off the glass for 2. And I believe we're going to get a foul call. That is going to be a technical foul call on Avon Hawkins. So, folks, things haven't quite settled down on the court yet. Things kind of got dusted up in the second half as a lot of chatter. Actually, there was a lot of chatter between both teams in the first half, and the teams were warned, but the chatter has not stopped. So Avon Hawkins, after the made basket, made a verbal comment that the official did not like, so he called the technical. So this will be 2 upcoming shots for Eli Fabian, who the last time they were whistled for, the Builders were whistled for a technical. He shot him, made them both. And he is now 4 for 4, converting technical free throws. So that's 4 points that the Builders have just given away here in the basketball game. So let's see if that turns out to be telling when we get towards the end of the game. It's kind of like in football when a kicker misses the extra point. You just wonder, at the end of the game, will that come back to haunt them? So again, that's 4 points the Builders have surrendered on technical free throws. Here's Gibbs. Here's Baldwin. His long 3 shot comes off to Ortiz. Back come the Builders with a 3-point lead. Here's Hawkins. His 3, money. Avon Hawkins pushes the Builder lead back up to 6, 61-55 over the Centurions, and the crowd has come alive here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Feed inside to Hampton. He's fouled. That foul will be on Tony Epps. That'll be his first personal foul, the team's 6th team foul. So Brandon Hampton will get an opportunity to shoot 2. As I said earlier, Tony Epps has been quiet in the scoring column. He's yet to score. So 9:19 remaining in the second half as the first free throw is missed by Hampton. Lee Brown will make his way back into the ball game for the visiting Centurions. Hampton converts the second of 2, 61-56. Builder lead now 5. Here's Ortiz. Here's Wall. Wall hit a couple of threes, but turns it over. So Adrian Wall with the traveling violation. So the basketball goes back to the Centurions. 9:03. Builders up by 5, 61-56. Long outlet. Builders sort of fell asleep on defense, and that led to a long throw out and easy layup for Lee Brown. 61-58 now. Builders by 3. Here's Wall. Hawkins. Nice feed inside to Molesky. Molesky gets it up and onto the glass for 2, and he's fouled. So count the basket. That foul is going to be credited to Murdoch. That is his second personal foul, the team's 5th. So Caleb Molesky gets an opportunity to convert the 3-point play. And he does. 64-58 timeout. Timeout taken by the Apprentice School, the Builders. Builders now with a 64-58 lead back up to 6 points once again. And this has kind of been the way the scoring has been throughout the game between the Builders and the Centurions. Builders build the lead, 8, 9, 10 points. Centurions get it down to 5, 4, 3, but the Builders do just enough to keep the Centurions at arm's length, and they've done so once again with that three-point opportunity by Caleb Molesky. So Builders lead 64-58, 8:39 remaining in this basketball game. The crowd is loving it. The officials doing their best right now to keep their eye on everything that's going on the court and even off the court. If you're just joining us, there was a bit of a verbal exchange between a couple of fans and a couple of Centurion basketball players that the officials did not like. So they actually went to security and let them know what was going on. So, again, we're going to continue to watch and monitor and see if cooler heads continue to prevail in this basketball game. But so far, very entertaining basketball game. A little bit of chatter has been going back and forth between players on the court, resulting in 2 technical foul calls on the Builders that resulted in 4 points for the Centurions. And we get a quick whistle right out of the timeout. So that is actually going to be called on the Centurions. Lee Brown, the official said, pushed off as he went to go get the basketball. So that's going to be a turnover. Builders will take it. For Lee Brown, that is his first personal foul. And that'll be the team's 6th. Wall. Right-handed shot. Good. Adrian Wall has come alive here in the second half. Builders now with an 8-point lead, 66-58, as pass swatted out of bounds by Molesky. Watch out for the baby. Be careful. Watch the baby. Builders with good defense right now. Active defense against the Centurions. Here's Murdoch. Shot clock at 3. Murdoch still dribbling. He tried to step through and got the wild layup to go. I thought he traveled. No call by the officials. 66-60. Builders with a 6-point lead. We're now under 8 minutes left. Molesky. All the way to the rack for the easy layup. So 68-60. Breakdown on defense by the Centurions leads to an easy layup for Caleb Molesky. So 68-60 is our score. Fabian. Shot contested by Hawkins. Epps. Long 3-point shot from Hawkins. Rebound tipped around and controlled by the Centurions. Here's Murdoch. We're now at 7 minutes left as Murdoch. Step back 3, drains it. Waved the 3-point signal at someone in the crowd as he backpedaled. So the Builder lead is now trimmed to 5. 68-63, 6:45 remaining in the basketball game. Epps has it poked away by Brown. So we're going to have a media timeout as Eason will be checking into the basketball game for the Builders, as Goggins and George will enter the basketball game for the Centurions. So 6:36 remaining in the basketball game. We've hit our media timeout. I believe we only have one more before the end of the game. Builders now with a 5-point lead, 68-63. So Builders, again, giving the stiff arm right now to the Centurions. Every time the Centurions mount a comeback, Builders stiff arm them, score a couple of baskets, and keep them at arm's bay. So again, it's been a very competitive game, been an exciting game for Coach William Pia and his team. Hard to believe that they're 3-10 on the season. But keep in mind that Coach Pia did not start the season as the head coach for the Centurions. Midway through the season, they went through a coaching change. But you can see that he's already putting his stamp on this program as his team takes the floor. This is a team that will not be intimidated, and it's a team that will not go away easily. You're going to have to put them away. So both teams with 2 timeouts remaining in the basketball game. Shot clock currently at 12 for the Builders. Shot clock now to 10. Builders taking their time. Coach Evans continues to let them know what the situation is on the shot clock. Mike Epps finally gets on the board, folks. That is his first made shot of the evening. And it goes down for 3. Builders 71, Centurions 63. Here's Goggins. Able to split the defense. Nice job by Goggins. Got to give credit where credit is due. Goggins broke down the defense, split the double team, and was able to lay it off the glass for an easy 2. Builder lead now at 6, 71-65. Epps, feed, poked away. Time on the shot clock as Molesky throws it away. Here's Goggins. Goggins goes right at Eason, who blocks the shot. So the basketball will stay on this end as Ely makes his way into the basketball game. Right now, Jaden Eason and Avon Hawkins with 12. Adrian Wall with 19. He leads off scores. No, he doesn't. He's actually tied with Eli Fabian for 19 points apiece. Leading scores. Both teams around even on turnovers. Builders with 13. Centurions with 12. Basketball will stay on this end. Builders with 5 blocks to 1. Builders leading in rebounding 37-27 is George able to convert. So the Builder lead now is 4, 71-67. Here's Epps. Tries to feed it inside to Eason, but it's tapped away. Shot clock stopped at 12, 5:07 remaining in this afternoon's contest. Ely. Shot clock now under 10 with Hawkins. Hawkins. You can hear the bench counting it down as Hawkins nearly got the left-handed runner to go. Long outlet to Goggins. Goggins. Able to gather himself for the high bank off the glass for 2. Builder lead now at 2. 71-69, 4.5 minutes left in this contest. And folks, this may come down to the wire. Hawkins thought about the 3. Hawkins goes against George and beats it. 73-69 as Hawkins picks up his second technical. Folks, Hawkins is gone. Yeah, Hawkins is gone. That is his second technical foul of the basketball game. So that's it. So with the Builders leading by 4 off of the made basket, that'll send Brandon Hampton to the other end to shoot 2 more technical free throws as he misses. We know that the Builders have already surrendered 4 points in technicals so far to the Centurions. Could be potentially 5, but the Builders are now without one of their players. As the second free throw goes down for Hampton. So 73-70 is the score. Builders over the Centurions. Avon Hawkins' afternoon is done. Here come the Centurions down by 3 is Eason with a steal. Eason on the floor, but they turn it right back over to the Centurions. Hampton's feed inside, taken by Baldwin. Step through layup is good for Murdoch. So that trims the Builder lead back down to 173-72. Builders have surrendered 5 points in technical free throws in this afternoon's game and still have the lead. Shot clock now at 10. Epps. Kick to Wall. Wall. 19 points for Wall, unable to add to it as the rebound comes off to the Centurions. So the Centurions have an opportunity to do something they have not done this entire basketball game. That's take the lead. Here's George. Spin. Scoop layup off the glass is good, and the Centurions have taken the lead. 74-73 as we get a stoppage. The officials come together as the technical foul is levied against the bench of the Centurions. So we're going to take a timeout. This is going to be a media timeout. Builders trail the Centurions now 74-73. What can you say about this basketball game? It's kind of had everything, right? It's had drama. It's had suspense. It's been a thriller, folks. This has been a really good basketball game. But what has not been impressive is the mental toughness, the emotional toughness that you want to see from your ball club, as we've seen Avon Hawkins pick up 2 technical fouls for the exact same thing, basically jawing after a made basket. So Avon Hawkins' afternoon is done, unfortunately, because he was doing a fantastic job scoring the basketball for the Builders. So he is going to finish this afternoon's game with 9 points. But you want to see both teams, get their emotions under control for the final 3:03. Now, for me, I think that may be wishful thinking, but we'll see how things play out as we continue to be nip and tuck on the scoreboard all the way down to 000. Beautifully competitive basketball game. It's been fun to watch, even better to broadcast. Thank you again for joining us. Hope you're enjoying it. So the Builders will get an opportunity to shoot the technical that was issued against the Centurion bench, so they get an opportunity to take the lead right back if Ely is able to convert. And the first free throw comes off. Okay, so that was only a one-shot technical. So one-shot technical was assessed to this Centurion bench. And the Builders will maintain possession of the basketball. So down the stretch, Builders need to value the basketball as Molesky's runner is good. So the Builders seize the lead right back as we get our second lead change of the afternoon. Basketball goes inside. Goggins unable to hit. So the Builders have an opportunity to build on their 1-point advantage, 75-74, 2.5 minutes left. As chance of defense comes from the Centurion bench. Here's Wall. Wall, scoop, layup, No good. Boy, that looked good coming off of his hand, but it came up short, hit the side of the iron. We're now down to the final 2 minutes of this afternoon's contest. Here's Baldwin, and he's fouled. They wave off the basket, said he was fouled on the floor. I missed who the foul was on. So that'll put Anthony Baldwin at the line. He'll be shooting the 1-and-1. He makes the first. We're tied again, 75-75, 1:57 left in the contest. Both teams with 2 timeouts. No more media timeouts, of course. So the Centurions with the lead again, folks, 76-75. This may literally come down to who has the basketball last, as Eason hits the tough jumper. And we get a timeout. 30-second timeout being called by Coach Evan Key. 77-76 Builders over the Centurions. So not a lot of possessions remaining for both teams, as we're now well under 2 minutes remaining in the basketball game, so possessions will be precious. Good timeout there by Evan Key to get his team centered on what they want to do for this next defensive possession, because the Builders, again, only up by a bucket. So we've seen several Builders now get into double-figure scoring. Adrian Wall with 19. Avon Hawkins, who's no longer in the contest, with 14. Jaden Eason on the strength of that last bucket, he now has 12. And Sean Ely has 12. For the visiting Centurions, it's still Fabian with 19. Goggins with 10. Murdoch with 10. And Hampton with 12. So here we go. Here's George. George has 4 personal fouls in the contest. The only player on the floor in foul trouble at the moment is Murdoch. Feeds to George. Eason able to get a finger on the basketball and poke it out of bounds. So 14 seconds on the shot clock. Long outlet to Goggins. And Goggins traveled. Turnover for the Centurions. And that'll give the ball back to the Builders, who now have a 1-point lead. Builders will not have to travel the length of the court. Builders need a basket here on this possession to put a little bit of pressure offensively on the Centurions. If the Builders are able to convert, it will be a 1-possession ball game. Back screen. Shot up off the glass, good for Sean Ely. Thought a foul call may have come, it did not, and the Builders now have a 3-point lead, folks. We are now at 1 minute remaining. Here's George, who just quietly and confidently converts. And the Centurions now find themselves down by 1, 79-78, as William Pia takes a timeout. So each team with 1 timeout remaining, 58.1 seconds left, and the Builders about to go back on offense. So again, possessions will be a premium here for these final few seconds of the basketball game. And again, I would not be surprised if whatever team has the basketball last will have an opportunity to win this game. So the suspense building, the drama is already there. This has been a fun basketball game to watch here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Both teams have their instructions from their head coaches. Builders have their instructions offensively. Centurions have their instructions defensively. Builders have to value the basketball here on this possession. No mental mistakes that can cause a turnover. Here's Epps. Here's Molesky. Step through layup, blocked. Hampton with the block. We're now down to 40 seconds. Builders with a 1-point advantage. Here's Baldwin. Murdoch being guarded by Epps. Here's George lost the basketball, but the loose ball comes off to the Centurions, who aren't able to convert. Builders come away with the basketball. Here's Ely. That may have sealed it. Well, no, it will not seal it. It's still a one-possession basketball game. If they're able to hit a three, we're tied. No timeout being called. It's going to be a play on. Game clock at 7. Here's Goggins. We have a stoppage. William Pia calls a timeout, 4.5 seconds left. I would have thought he would have called it a heck of a lot sooner than that, but that's going to be a full timeout, his last. I thought that right after the made basket, I thought Coach Pia would have called a timeout, but he did not. So his team actually wasted about 10 seconds of clock time that they could have used if they had called the timeout off of the made basket. But if you're a Builder fan, that's exactly what you wanted. You want them to waste time. So they only have 4.5 seconds to inbound, catch, take a dribble or two before they have to launch a shot. Now keep in mind, they are down by 3. So the Builders need to guard above the 3-point line. If they are able to get it inside quickly for a 2, you'll much rather give that up than allow them to get up a 3. And keep in mind, they need a 3 only to tie, not even to take the lead in the basketball game. So let's see what Coach Evan Key sets up for his team out of the timeout. So it's going to be more than likely an inbound to someone. They're probably going to try to get it back to the inbounder quickly, and he'll have to hoist up a 3. So keep your eye on Brandon Hampton, the inbounder. They didn't go that way. 3 goes in and out, and that is it. That's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a finish as the Builders hold on to a 3-point lead here at the end of the basketball game. Carolina Christian had an opportunity to tie it up with a long 3 shot from Tayshawn George, but it rimmed in and out, and that is how this contest will end. Fantastic basketball played by both teams. Coach Key and Coach Pia should both be proud of the way their teams played, but both teams, both coaches, should be disappointed with the fact that we were not able to control our emotions in this basketball game as well as we could have. So teams shake hands, embrace at half court, and that'll be the end of the game. Wow, what an exciting basketball game, folks. We want to thank each and every one of you for joining us as the Builders get out of here with a hard-fought victory over Coach William Pia and his Carolina Christian Centurions. So we're going to step out of here, folks. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go home. We're going to relax. We hope you do the same. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. And we're going to say so long from the Apprentice School Athletic Center. I'm Howard McCain. He is Dave Davenport. We'll see you soon for the next edition of Builder Basketball. And remember, folks, as always, this is Builder Basketball.